Hello, and welcome back to the Geek Nostalgia Podcast. I'm your host, Gina Rona, joined as always by.
What's going on, everybody? It's Dave.
Today, we're getting into movie collecting, a retrospective. We're going to kind of tackle this thing from a couple different angles, everything from physical media, the benefits of physical media, to collecting and where that used to be and where it is now and where we feel like it's going. So, I think the best, most organic place for this to start off is just talking about physical media, VHS, DVDs, Blu-ray. A lot of us listening to this grew up with that stuff. And there was something about going into video stores, rental stores, Blockbusters, etc., picking up a VHS, DVD. You had the art, you had the synopsis on the background. There was a whole thing. They kind of went with it. But that's not where we are today. Right, we don't drive around town and say, "Hey, look, there's a Blockbuster." They're just not there anymore. They largely died off. And yet, Dave, just this morning, you and I were in your media room organizing more DVDs than I've ever seen in my life. A couple hours just on 2 letters of the alphabet, and it got me thinking, quite frankly, about my DVD collection I used to have and how amazing of an experience that was to just pick one up and go. But this is, Dave, I want to stop. I actually want to hand it to you. It was your collection. And I just kind of want to know, someone who's been doing this for 20 years, what got you into the hobby? How did you build your hobby? And what is it about the hobby decades after streaming has been firmly established and a lot of the video stores are relics? What keeps you going? Give us some of that history.
Well, I've been collecting 30 years.
Okay.
Started with VHS, the classics, Terminator, RoboCop, Rambo. Then DVDs came out, so I upgraded to that. Blu-rays came out, upgraded to that. And now 4K, so upgrading to that. I've had several different collections. I've had to get rid of them for this, that, whatever. So I am on my last collection now because it is so massive. If I have to get rid of it, I can't do it anymore. It's time consuming. You do have to pay attention to it. But streaming, I cut the cord from cable to do streaming, just like everybody else. And then I still collected movies just because I like the packaging. Visually, I like to see the covers, things like that. But streaming, as you said, when you were over this morning, there was a movie you wanted to see that I had, and you can't even rent it. Well, I can watch it anytime I want. So that's one important reason to have physical media, because that wasn't the only movie, and I can't remember what movie it was.
Initially, Lethal Weapon 1
Okay.
I was literally sitting in my game room last night, and I was on my Fire TV stick, and I couldn't even find it to rent, much less buy digitally. It just wasn't out. 2, 3, and 4, it was out there. Number 1 wasn't there. And that's a well-known franchise. That is wild to me that I couldn't find it anywhere. But we see it on streaming all the time. These films come, they go, they're on this streamer, they're on that streamer, they're on no streamer. And I actually challenge on something, right? I cut the cord many years ago, where I think maybe we need to reconcile, not just you and me, but like in general, is cutting the cord means you no longer have a cable subscription. Cool. Cable sucked anyway. I would argue that embracing a physical collection also counts as cutting the cord.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Yeah.
I mean, so you couldn't find Lethal Weapon. I have it VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K. So I have 4 different versions of it. So I'm covered with a lot of things, especially the ones that I grew up with and that I really love. I make sure I have that in my collection. But as far as cutting cable and everything, I've been telling my wife a lot lately. I actually miss the commercials, though. I don't like the ads that they put in now, because it's like 3 ads, and you get them over and over again for a month. Yep. And then they may change one of them. Commercials, that I don't know what new movies are coming out to theaters, because I don't see commercials anymore. Right. I don't know what new snack food is coming out or any of that. I miss that. So I've actually been looking at cable providers to go back to cable.
Oh, how weird is that? That in this age of targeted advertising, where you could be walking around your kitchen in your underwear talking about, hey, you know what? I would like a new pair of Nikes. And then by the time you pick up your phone, Facebook and everywhere, YouTube, everyone else is already putting out Nike ads in front of you. It's trying to, like, marketing is trying to predict what you want, even though it's not really educating you on things, as far as what's in the market and what's coming, not in like in a grand general way like it used to. So I definitely see where you're coming from.
But physical media, I will always have it. I do the video games too. That's going strictly digital. And I don't want to be stuck with digital. So I'm getting a lot of the physical copies of everything and going back old school.
Well, I would point out, and I know we both are aligned on this, but physical media is offline friendly, right? All of us, every single person listening to this right now has had instances where their internet went down for one reason. It could be connected to their power. Obviously that happens. Can't do nothing about that. But like, everyone's had shitty ISP experiences where your internet is down for 4 hours or 4 days. You got physical media, you don't got to worry about that. And I would say that is a chief benefit of having physical media. I'm not suggesting everyone go do it, but it's just undeniable truth. Internet goes down, you're still in business.
Yeah, and there is a rise. People are realizing this, and they are going back to it. So for the collectors that have been doing this for years, it's getting a lot more expensive.
Yeah.
Everybody's buying up the rare stuff, and things are becoming more out of print. So it's getting hard when something does come out. Now some of them you have to rush to get it, or it's going to sell out. There's so many people getting into it.
Mm-hmm. What's fascinating too, you compare and contrast streaming to physical media. Before, when we were doing that organizational project at your house this morning, before we even really got into the business of organizing, I think we spent like an hour just looking at your stuff, looking at various box sets, looking at various old movies, some that I had never heard of. And that involved you picking up a Blu-ray or a DVD and handing it to, hey, you recognize this. I'd look at the cover art, turn it around, read the description. That's something you inherently do with physical media that you don't do in streaming, because I'm going to use Netflix, for example, because that's the one. They have 300 million subscribers. Everyone knows that interface. You are compressing whether you're going to be interested in something or not down to how you receive a thumbnail. Think about that. Doom scrolling isn't a thing that ever happens at a movie store, right? But you do in Netflix, you're just like, okay, I don't like that thumbnail. Keep going. Like, a lot of times you're not even hovering long enough to see the damn description. That doesn't happen with physical media. You pick it up, you turn the case over. Like, there's a process to it that I think is an art, even that's a bit lost.
Yeah, I mean, some of them looks like a copy paste.
Are we talking about streaming right now? We're talking about
well, streaming, and if they decide to do like a re-release or something just to put it out there.
Oh yeah,
some of it could be pretty simple, but these boutique companies, they really go all out on them. And I knew when I got in that I opened and had you smell this morning. Mm-hmm. There's different smells to them.
I like the couple box sets you had. One was Rambo, where there was a molded insert. So the movies didn't fit in there and they were flushed up against each other. They were spaced out to make it easy to grab these things in and out. And I thought, that is genius. Because every box set I ever had, I had to flip upside down because the damn movies were in there so tight. These had molded slots. So you could fit your fingers in and pull each individual movie out. That's really cool.
And you got to protect those steelbooks.
You got to protect those steelbooks. But I'm just saying, it was a really nice touch. Someone thought about how do we make the box set more functional. I appreciated that. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, and those kind of things is directed toward collectors.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Dave, because that was the first time I ever seen anything like that myself. And I know you've been following these sort of boutique dealers of these box sets. When did that quality of box set start to come onto the market? Because I've never seen anything like that.
The steelbooks like that, probably that one was one of the first ones, the Rambo one.
Mm-hmm. Are we talking a couple of years, 5 years? Like where?
That one probably, I think that came out like 6 years ago, 2020. It was a Best Buy exclusive. You know, Best Buy was doing good things back then for physical media until they got rid of all of it.
Mm-hmm.
But you had the Rambo, and then Indiana Jones had one, not as good, but similar. The newest one was the Nightmare on Elm Street steelbook box set. That's how that one is.
And so we all know the cadence for drops on shoes and video games and all the other things we enjoy in life. These type of boutique physical media things, are you seeing those on a regular? Is it every couple months you'll see these companies release something? Like how frequent are the drops?
That's, and I don't know. It's whenever they decide to do it. You can't, like the Nightmare on Elm Street one, people have been waiting for years to get that.
Okay.
They decided to do it that way.
So in many ways, it would be accurate to say that the collecting of physical media is a little more challenging today.
There's so many boutique labels, and it's who has the rights to make this a 4K.
Mhm.
And then, like Friday the 13th, they have been separated. Like you could only get the first 8 for so long. Then they made a package where it had all of them. And then it went back to, well, now they can only do just the 8 because of right issues. And it's like the Halloweens. You can't get the Rob Zombie ones on 4K, but you can get all the other ones.
It's a weird divide, isn't it?
Yeah. And I don't remember if it's because he just doesn't want his on 4K or if somebody different owns the rights. Like, I can't remember.
Okay. So do this for me. The vast bulk of your collection came from where?
A mix of online, eBay, Amazon, going to pawn shops, movie trading companies, Best Buy back when they had media, Walmart even when they had a little more media, and even now for some new releases, they'll have stuff.
Well, I can say with absolute certainty that back when I had a collection, which again, nowhere near as big as yours, even though it was close to 800 units, vast majority of mine was collected over 10 years, going to Black Friday sales, getting them for, $1 a pop. That's easily and far and away where the majority of mine came from. Obviously, that's not a thing anymore because most retailers have gotten rid of physical media. So then the question to you, Dave, as someone who is sort of watching the market on these new products of re-releases of old films, where do you see that hobby going in the future? But also when new movies come out, how often is it you're seeing physical releases for them?
Oh, I've seen physical releases for just about everything. Barbarian was one that never got one. I think that came out 4 or 5 years ago. For whatever reason, they didn't release that. But most of the time, you get some kind of a physical media copy of it.
Like when a new Marvel flick comes out, do you expect that there's going to be a physical copy pretty quick?
For the Marvel stuff, yes, because Disney owns it, and they know they're going to make money, so they're going to put that out. But they stopped their Disney exclusive club.
Mhm.
All the yellow colored packaged Blu-rays, they stopped that, and they're not doing anything else with those. They're not re-releasing them or doing anything with that. So Disney's not very good when it comes to physical media. They own a lot. They're not doing anything with it really.
So do you see the future of physical media being boutique type stuff, special editions of box sets and re-releases and that kind of thing? Novelty. And the combination of that and maybe print to order type stuff. Do you see that as the future of physical media?
A lot of the boutiques now, they're the ones that do carry the ones that we want.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like Disney's not really one to do it, but WB, somebody like that, they'll give something to Vinegar Syndrome and be like, hey, do a nice set of this and just give us this much off of it. So we get a lot that way. Where I see it going, I see it circling back to history repeating itself.
Okay.
People are getting more into the VHS, DVD, Blu-rays. The prices of them going up because everybody's wanting them. So there's less out there for everybody to get. Everybody, it's not, companies are considering everybody a collector if they buy the movie.
Okay.
Like the steelbooks I showed you.
Yeah.
A lot of the movies are only coming out on steelbooks. And as a collector, you want that choice, either steelbook or something with a slip cover. Even, say I may not want the 4K, I want the DVD because I don't want to spend all that money to get 4K stuff. Some of them, they're only going to give you the 4K. So if you want the movie, this is what you're going to get, and that's it. And of course, you're going to buy it, and then it's like just a cycle. Oh, they're buying it, so that must be what they want.
Yeah. And I think it bears pointing out too that the same movie, even though it's released many times in many versions and iterations, can be modified. Right? You've mentioned how some certain films, the sound is different. Has a different experience going from VHS to DVD to Blu-ray, even to 4K, because the way it has been mixed or remastered. Anytime something is upscaled, remixed, or remastered, it's being messed with in some way. And sometimes the end result isn't exactly 100% faithful to how it was originally produced. So I think that is also something that inside the world of collecting films, like, you can point to and say, hey, that's a benefit of having physical media, because I'm going to worry about, George Lucas re-releasing Star Wars for the 15th time and continuing to add in characters who weren't even thought of when the originals came out. The way some Star Wars films were retconned and have Hayden Christensen, his version of Darth Vader, like kind of shoehorned in at the end. Like you're talking about classic films being digitally modified. Well, that's not happening to anything you physically own, right? It's a physical thing you have, and you kind of in that way are protecting the integrity of it. And I think that's something the physical media does do, is in a Library of Congress sort of way. It maintains history.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of collectors have several different versions of the same movie, because the new release, it may look good, but the sound's not there. So you have the older release for when you want that sound. And as a Star Wars goes, you can't stream the original theatrical cut of 3, 4, or 4, 5, and 6. But I have the original cuts on DVD. And I doubt you'll ever be able to stream those original cuts.
I would probably tend to agree. It's probably been fucked with so much that the original is almost lost to time.
And Lucas didn't want that anyway. He wants the new enhanced versions with the added footage that he put in there. That's the way he wants it.
Bit of a shame. But all right. Anything else on this particular subject?
It's a big rabbit hole you can get into.
Yeah.
With physical media. If you're just starting out, you need to get on YouTube. You need to look up people who collect it so you can find out about the boutique labels. It's the best way to get it now if you're interested. And I don't see streaming really being a big thing in the future. A lot of people are starting to get away from it now already because they see that. You're not going to have every movie that you want to see when you want to see it, like what they were saying was going to happen. That was the whole purpose of doing streaming. That and not the commercials.
Yeah.
But I miss those.
Well, a lot of streaming packages now, actually every streaming service nowadays offers a ad and ad-free tier. So they've found a way to get the ads back in. As dumb as it sounds, like most streamers, you have to pay for a premium subscription to go ad-free. So it came full circle. It did.
Yeah.
Dave, before I forget, we committed to putting Chuck Norris jokes in our episodes. Why don't you give us one? Long. Rest in peace, Chuck.
R.I.P. Great Chuck Norris. All right. Well, Chuck Norris uses ribbed condoms inside out. So he gets the pleasure.
Oh, you told me that off mic before we started recording, and it's still funny. All right. Fair enough. I think before we shut this episode down, the other kind of bit we were talking about is getting random snacks from around the world, just rare, oddball stuff, and giving it a shot, not because we're trying to promote anything, just because, why not? We're talking about nostalgic things, and what's more nostalgic than curling up next to your favorite snack? And today's snack is weird because I went to a Miniso, I don't know, some kind of store that had a bunch of different snacks in it, and that's the sound of Dave going for the bag right now. I believe that's Korean. Dave, what is that?
Shinzang, sweet acacia honey, seed, sweet honey and roasted black sesame kind of chip thing.
All right. Well, I say open it up and let's see what it's all about, and hopefully we get an explanation as to why that bag's so damn heavy.
Very dense, yes. Like a regular chip bag, this would be like a third of the weight.
So for the listener at home, Dave is effectively getting a bicep workout over there, doing a preacher curl. Bag is fighting back.
Ooh, it smells like Teddy Grahams.
No way.
Yeah.
That smells like Teddy Grahams. It's fucking sesame. How does it smell like Teddy Grahams? Doesn't make any sense.
It's that honey they put in there.
But sesame seed. Okay.
Tastes like a churro.
It does. That is fantastic. That is not bad, Dave.
Well, they're heavy because it's real thick and crispy.
Okay, that's solid. That is solid. Listeners at home, sorry I'm crunching into the mic, but that's good.
They're that crispy. That's why the weight is there. That's why they're so heavy, because they're thick. But it's not like crispy where it hurts when you bite into it.
Oh, yeah.
That's nice. That is a nice little treat right there.
All right. And we're going to shut her down on this one, right, Dave?
Yeah, that's all you want to talk about physical media. I mean,
yeah.
You can go on for hours talking about this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess we'll do our closing thoughts on the whole physical media thing. And mine is this. I made a reference to the Library of Congress earlier. I don't want these things to be forgotten. I don't want this generation, the next generation, et cetera's access to historical feature films to be dictated by what's on streaming service at any given time, because there's so much good stuff out there, so much gold, and I just don't want it to disappear. I guess what it comes down to, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, you got the A movies, the B movies, the C movies. Somebody's gonna find what they like and all of that, and several different kind of collectors. You got the ones that have to have everything. You got the ones that have to have everything in every different version of it. Then you got the ones that only want their few beloved titles, and that's all they want. Me, I'm kind of all the ones that I grew up with, I want, and then ones that look interesting that one day I hope to watch. I get those. And I do try to get different formats because you get different special features, which is a whole nother thing. I was showing you that some of the special features from Arrow Video were several hours of just talking about the movie.
Okay, I don't want to just kind of breeze over that. Ladies and gentlemen, like some of these special editions, it's a solid 2 hours of 20 minutes of this, 40 minutes of that, 35 minutes of that, getting into the deep diving of the production stuff, the editing, how the story came together. Like, it's almost like a damn documentary that's included with the film. Like, you don't get that experience in streaming. That's for damn sure, Dave.
Yeah, it's a whole part of it. And then all the swag you get that I showed you, the booklets, the posters, stickers, the big ridiculous cheap wooden boxes that they come in and things like that.
Oh yeah, them taking stuff from the movie, like the Sidekicks box that you showed me. It had a little miniature, looked like a magazine, the same magazine he carried around the whole movie of Chuck Norris, but of course it had the movie characters on it, not Chuck Norris by himself. But little things like that. That's really cool.
Nice little touches. Yeah, It's real premium quality there.
Yeah,
they're not cheap, but you can still find them on sales, and it's easy enough. I use streaming now just for convenience, and a lot of these movies will come with digital copies, so that's a convenience too.
I think it's great we had the conversation, because it's always a point of, when you purchase a thing digitally, do you actually own it? Is it actually yours, or is it only yours until the server goes down and then all of a sudden you don't got access to it? So it's just that, ladies and gentlemen, keep that in mind. That's all I ask. Anything else?
Yeah, if you're really into watching stuff and you have your favorite stuff, maybe just get that. You get your favorite stuff. I mean,
yeah.
You don't have to have a whole room with every wall, floor to ceiling filled with movies, you could have one shelf with your favorites on there. And if that's all you need, I mean, you're good to go. Do it that way. But it is coming back. A lot of people are getting back into it. Video stores are starting to come into the scene again. So you got people like us who grew up with that, and we want that back. And then you got the younger people who have never had that, and they want to experience that. So it's making full circle.
It's exciting, and I'm here for it.
And I've always been here for it.
All right. Well, then we're going to shut it down. Everyone, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, I'm your host, Gene.
And I'm Dave.
Y'all take care.
Later.